I was taken captive for 490 days, leaving my wife with just 2 girls. Up to then, she was pregnant in the bomb shelter for the whole period of time. What I thought is that they were all murdered as well. She later on gave birth, and I got my life back. Thanks to you and your staff. I came back here, met my baby girl when she was already 14 months old, and now life is full.
Life is full. My next guest is the father of the man who you just heard there thanking President Trump. His son, Sagi Dekhelin, was freed in February. Jonathan Dekhelin joins me now. Jonathan, thank you for being with us here today. You have a unique perspective in that while your son was released in February, you know what it was like to miss someone that you love and wonder and hang on to hope. How do you feel for, and what can you share with us about what those families today must be going through?
Well, I think you could see and hear the joy, the relief, the jubilation that the family members felt. In all of these cases, there was really no way of knowing what condition these men would be in as they emerged from the Hamas hellholes. And so it's just this amazing outpouring of emotion. There's still much work to be done to complete President Trump's plan to arrive at a better future for our region. But for today, it's just amazing to watch. In our case, of the 20 young men who were released late last night, early this morning, 4 of them are from our home, from Kibbutz Nir Oz, kibbutz that was completely devastated on October 7th. So for me, seeing those 4 come home, and they are all, in effect, members of my extended family. So I couldn't be happier
incredible.
For them and their families.
You got your son back in February. These are 4 members of your extended family, your kibbutz, your extended family there in Israel. I'm curious, over that time, that long time, 2 years, was it difficult to maintain hope?
Well, one of the other hostage parents, Rachel Goldberg, who's another U.S. Israeli citizen, whose son was tragically murdered while in captivity. His name was Hirsch Goldberg-Polin. Beforehand, she had often said, and I accepted it then and still accept it now as truth, is that hope is mandatory. Even in the darkest moments, and there were many. Sagi was a captive for nearly 500 days. Most of that time we did not know if he was alive, what condition he was in, and if he could come home, what would that mean? What would that look like? And really, the Israel as a whole has been incredibly almost time has stopped for the country since October 7th, and enormous stresses within Israel, beyond the burdens of warfare within Israel, because of widespread dissatisfaction with our government, and particularly the way it was handling the hostage situation. But here we are, and more steps to be had, however.
You described earlier the Hamas hellhole that these men emerged from today, and wondering what condition they would be in. Again, your son emerged from that same hole in February. What did he share with you about the conditions he was under, and what we might expect we would hear from these men as well who were released today?
Well, it's already been well publicized that those men who have been held for extended periods of time, now a little over 2 years, they all suffered from malnutrition, complete lack of sunlight, horrific sanitary conditions, little to no medical care, and the constant threat of death from 2 sources. The most obvious, of course, is execution by their Hamas captors, who they knew had been given instructions that if Israeli soldiers were anywhere in the area, were to execute the hostages. But in addition, the hostages all spoke of the dangers that they experienced and on their own bodies from inadvertent Israeli strikes around where they were being held. And so Sagi did speak of sort of near-death experiences as tunnels collapsed as a result of Israeli bombing. So the threat of death, if nothing else, daily, hourly, was something that I think was perhaps the most difficult for them all. And also Sagi, like some but not all of the hostages, was in a complete information vacuum. He had no idea if his wife, children, mother, sister, her family, anyone on the kibbutz had survived. When he was taken hostage on October 7th, all he saw was a kibbutz going up, a village going up in flames with bodies scattered all around it.
Right.
And he had to live with that and survive somehow for nearly 500 days.
Last question for you, Jonathan. I've noticed in the course of our conversation, you said today is a good day, a day for celebration, but it felt at the time like you were also hinting at some skepticism about whether or not this peace can hold. You look today, and it does seem like a unique moment in history, one, I would say, pretty obviously engineered by President Trump, and it looks like it's a moment where we have the most hope, at least probably in your and my lifetime, for peace. Are you hopeful, or are you skeptical that this is a moment where we can move forward with peace?
Well, there is a plan, a viable plan on the table that the president and his team have put on the table. The key is going to be really in the same way that it was key for the president to be intimately involved and continuously involved in getting this deal started. And we saw the first 20 hostages coming home. But to bring it home with this plan, the president, his team, the mediators, and the EU, Turkey, will all have to keep their finger really on both sides, on Hamas and on the Israeli government, to keep them at yes in terms of moving forward. Without that, I fear this may be like so many other disappointments that we've had in our region about moments when we thought peace might be at hand, but in the end, a conflict returned. I want to have faith that President Trump understands that. He knows the region well enough and the players that he will continue to be engaged, if not daily, then in the most serious way possible, to complete this very, very likely plan that he's put on the table.
Yeah, and certainly from what we're hearing right now, that seems to be the intention of President Trump. Jonathan, thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.